Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. We'll take a look at some of the traps in the bishop's opening. So let's get started. e4, e5, bishop c4. So this is called the bishop's opening. And here the most common response for black is to go knight f6. We'll also try to see what happens if they go for this slightly different try, f5. Now if they go f5, we go knight f3. They take on e4. We could take the pawn on e5. If they go queen g5, trying to attack the knight on e5 and the g2 pawn, we go d4, counter-attacking the queen and also supporting the knight. Queen g2 is met with queen h5 check. g6 is forced, otherwise the queen just comes in. And now you go bishop f7 check. And after king d8, we have bishop takes g6. Now we are sacrificing the rook on h1, but what we get in return is a lot of activity, and black's king is actually really unsafe compared to white's king. So all of the pieces of white can create a lot of trouble for black. After queen h1, you go king e2, and after c6, knight c3. If they try e3, you go knight f7 check. And after king c7, bishop takes e3. We're sacrificing the second rook. If they go queen takes a1, queen g5, this moves really important, threatening queen d8, checkmate. And then if they go b5, creating the b7 escape square for the king, you go queen d8 check, king b7, and now one more sacrifice, knight sacrifice on b5. And now we have ideas of queen c7, knight d6, so many threats. If they take on b5, you go queen a5, attacking the b5 pawn, and also the queen is controlling this diagonal, so you can bring in the bishop as well into the attack with bishop e4. Knight c6, you go bishop e4, pin the knight, and after rook d8, knight d8 check, king a8, and you simply take on c6. After they take back, you take back with the bishop, and this is just going to lead to a checkmate. If they go rook b7, you just go d5, threatening queen takes a7 checkmate. King b8, you have bishop f4 check. Bishop d6, you take the bishop, and if king a8, you can just take on b7, and it's going to lead to a checkmate. If they take with the king, you go queen takes b5, followed by queen b8 checkmate. And instead of this, if they go bishop takes b7, you have queen d8, followed by queen c8 checkmate. And instead of rook b7, if they play bishop e7 here, then you simply have d5, which again forces a checkmate on a7. Now going back to the usual response, the most common response being knight f6. Here we have a lot of options as white. You can go d3, you can go d4, you can go knight c3. We will try to see some of the traps in all these variations. If they go d3, you go bishop e7, f4, e takes f4, and now e5, attacking the knight. The knight has no squares to go, so it has to go back to g8, and now we go knight c3, d6, bishop takes f4, d takes e5, and now queen h5. So we are attacking the f7 pawn, and if they go g6 to defend it, you can take on e5, attacking the h8 rook. And if they go knight f6, you can go knight e5. So you keep on adding pressure to the knight on f6 as well as the e7 bishop. If they go knight bd7, you can take on c7. Again, there's an additional threat to this. If they go king f8, you have bishop h6 check. And after king g8, we have a nice checkmate with the bishop sacrifice, bishop takes f7 check, followed by queen e6 checkmate. So this is one of the traps which could be achieved when you play d3. And instead of d3, if you go with d4, and if they take on e4, you go d takes e5, and now you have threats of queen d5, which attacks the knight and the f7 pawn. If they go knight c5, you go knight f3, bishop e7, bishop f4, knight c6, knight c3. And here if they go knight e6, attacking your bishop, you just slide back to g3, castle, queen e2, preparing long castle. They go f5 with the idea of f4 to trap your bishop on g3, but you just go long castle. And now they can't go f4 because the knight on e6 would be hanging. So first they go queen e8, but now you go knight d5. Again, you're threatening knight takes c7 because the knight on e6 is pinned. So they just play king h8 to unpin the knight, but now you go knight f4, where it gets good control on the f4 square. If they go a6, you go h4, knight a5, take the knight on e6. After they take back, you go knight g5. Now, if they go bishop c5, white is a really strong move here, rook d8, deflecting the queen from the h5 square. After queen takes d8, you get queen h5, and now you're threatening queen h7. If they go h6, you just have queen g6, again threatening queen h7. And if they take your knight, you take back with the pawn, opening up the h file for the rook. And if they go king g8, you can just come back to h5, and next you're going to push the pawn to g6, and then you have queen h7, queen h8 checkmate threats, which is unstoppable. So this is one of the traps which could happen after you have played d4. Now if you go knight c3, they can go knight takes e4. But here we don't capture the knight back, we play queen h5, again threatening the f7 pawn and the e5 pawn. If they go knight g5, defending the f7 pawn and also covering the e5 pawn, you go d4, attack the knight. If they go knight e6, you go d5, again continue the attack. And if they go g6, we have a really nice queen sacrifice. G takes e6, g takes h5, take the f7 pawn, and after king e7, you get bishop g5 check. And at this point, you can always capture the queen back. King d6, but before that, of course, we want to improve the position further, so we go long castle, king c5, rook d5 check. And here if they go king c4, this is going to lead to a checkmate because the king is in a very dangerous spot. b3 check, king b4, rook b5 check, king a3, and now comes rook knight b1 check, king takes a2, and after rook a5, it's going to be a checkmate because bishop a3, just rook takes a3 is a checkmate. So this could also happen if they go knight g5. And instead of this, if they go knight d6, then you go bishop e3, just move the bishop back, bishop e7, d3, castle, knight f3, knight c6, and now knight g5, threatening the h7 pawn. If they go h6, you just go h4, so they can't take on g5 because you take back with the h pawn, and the queen and the rook battery will deliver the checkmate along the h file. So they go knight e8, trying to bring the knight to the usual defensive spot, which is f6. But now you go knight d5, and when they go knight f6, white has a really strong move, queen g6. And now the immediate threat is to take on f6 and then go queen h7 checkmate. If they go f takes g6, you can just go knight takes e7, and after king h8, you have knight takes g6, again leading to a really nice checkmate. So these are some of the traps in the bishop's opening. I hope you liked it. Please like, share and subscribe ChessMeMix for more traps. See you soon with a better video next time. Thank you.